When I think of classic childhood recipes, chicken nuggets has got to be at the top of that list. I mean, chicken nuggets were kind of a special occasion treat for me growing up. We didn't have them all the time, maybe frequent enough for it to not be like a once in a moon thing, but anyways, it was definitely something that was special that I was like, oh, this is great, we get to have chicken nuggets. Of course, we had the freezer bag that we'd heat up, but it's, not the same. I have ground chicken in here. I'm gonna just season it up. I've got some pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. Go wild with your spice cabinet. Of course, a little bit of salt, not too much. There we go. And then I'm gonna add an egg in. This will just help bind it. Basically, a chicken nugget is a chicken meatball that's like flat and fried. So same principles, kind of close. So I just picked up some ground chicken from the store, nothing special. I do like the ground chicken with a little higher fat content. It'll just make it a little juicier, less dry, a little bit more flavor. Of course, you can use just chicken breast. I'm just making sure this is all mixed so everything's well combined. You can do this from regular chicken breast, chicken thighs, just put them in a food processor, pulse them until it's one kind of continuous mixture. I was gonna use the word homogeneous, that's so technical. Using my vocab when I do these. But I think just ground chicken from the store is a good, fun shortcut. One trick you can do if you're unsure if the meat mixture is seasoned properly, I would recommend going light on the seasoning to begin. You can just get a little skillet out, cook up a little tiny forkful of your mixture to just see how it tastes. A tool that helps here is a cookie scoop. You can do this with a spoon or even just your hands. Seasoned meat mixture came together in no time. I have a bowl of cornstarch, so what I need to do is get these in that classic chicken nugget shape. If you are making homemade chicken nuggets, it is a little bit of a process. It incorporates a few different culinary techniques, but it's not difficult. It's really easy, and it's a fun project to do. It is one you wanna plan a little bit ahead. This is a tablespoon and a half scoop. I try to get about 12, if not a few more, out of this mixture, so I go pretty heaping. I'm gonna put it in to the cornstarch, toss it around. This is a messy hand project. And what you wanna do is get it into that traditional shape, just kind of a circle, a little oblong nugget. I'm gonna take another scoop, dip it in there. The cornstarch really helps to not stick to your hands. It's a little messy. Pat off any excess. We're gonna just keep rolling. Why make your own chicken nuggets? Just like anything, it's to control the ingredients. You know what's going in it, you know it's fresh. And I also like things like this because it's just a fun project. It's a way to go back to your childhood, but do it in a more adult way, Have fun with it, make it your own, celebrate the nostalgia, but also have fun with a kitchen project. You want these pretty uniform, like basically the same size, but some are a little bigger, some are a little smaller. That's how chicken nuggets are, right? The cornstarch is gonna make the next step stick when we put our batter on. It's also gonna help these not stick to this pan. So out of about a pound of chicken, I'm looking to get about 12 of these. No need for a food scale or anything. You wanna make sure that mixture is kind of packed in there. You don't want them too loose. That egg will help bind everything together, but you definitely want it to hold its shape. I'm trying to get 3 more out of this. I went a little heavy, so we might be one shy. That's what happens. I like a messy kitchen project. I mean, why not? This is the fun, the joy of creating a meal. Maybe this isn't your go-to weeknight meal, but what's great is you can get a couple pounds of chicken, do this step, put them in the freezer, let them chill, let them harden, and then you can leave them in there. Put them in a storage baggie, and you just have prepped chicken nuggets ready to go that all you need to do is bread or batter and fry. There's my chicken nuggets. Some of these have that classic chicken nugget shape, but we want them to hold that shape, so these need to go into the freezer. So I have these chicken nuggets. These have been in the freezer for quite a while. They're nice and firm. That's what we want in order for them to hold their shape while they get battered. So I have some flour here. I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch just for some extra crispiness and texture. You could just do all flour. Need about a cup total. Sometimes I even do a cup of flour, just add a tablespoon or 2 of cornstarch. Once again, this is what I love about the kitchen. It's kind of a process. There's different variations of this that you can do. So you just kind of experiment, make it your own. Some recipes even include an egg in here. I'm just doing the flour mixture and some water. So this is about equal parts, 1 cup total dry and 1 cup total liquid, but I go just a little shy on the liquid, so it's just a little thicker. This is a standard wet batter. A little upgrades you can do here, you could do some seltzer water. That'll give it some lift and crispiness, kind of like a tempura batter. I mean, if you're getting real extreme, you can add a beer. Beer is great for batters. The alcohol cooks soft, so there's no real worries there. Okay, we're almost there. I'm gonna save this little bit of liquid. It's kind of thick. You want just a little runnier than a pancake batter. I'm gonna season this up. Little salt. You can use an all-purpose or combination seasoning. I go a little easy on the salt. You want your chicken mixture to be pretty flavorful, but this batter just needs just a little bit of flavor. Onion, garlic, paprika, anything you have in your spice cabinet. I mean, maybe not cinnamon or, but hey, I don't know, maybe you like it in there. It's not much, just a little flavor. Yeah, I'm gonna need this extra liquid, maybe a touch more. We'll see. Get this all combined. That's looking about great. Runny, but thick. Are those contradictory? It's runny, but thick. We're gonna do a little test. We're gonna see if these fry up better pre-coated or coated right before frying. So half these I'm gonna pre-coat. And you can do this with a fork. This actually might be easier with a fork because I'm pulling up a lot of batter with my fingers. Ta-da! You know, sometimes you improve as you go. We're all learning. We're all doing our best. And pop this back in the freezer. We're gonna start with batch 1, our pre-battered chicken nuggets. I'm gonna get these in here. And be very careful when working with hot oil. You wanna make sure oil's around 350. I do a little bit above, because that temp will come down just a little bit. You don't want it too high, that chicken needs to cook through, and you don't want the batter to brown or crisp up too quickly. I did not do it today, but it's a good time to wear an apron. Don't overcrowd. This is perfect if you work in batches. Frying doesn't have to be scary. You just have to have the right setup. It definitely helps. It's almost essential to have a thermometer so you know you're at the right temperature. Work slowly in small batches. If you want to, even fry like 1 or 2 so you don't have to manage a whole skillet full of food. You can start with the same chicken mixture, go ahead and do the coating with the cornstarch, freeze them, and instead you can bread them and put them in the oven or the air fryer. I wouldn't do the batter necessarily in an air fryer or the oven, you just won't get the same texture. But this battered version is the traditional drive-through fast food McDonald's version. They're already looking pretty nuggety. These are pretty big nuggets though. But see, that's the fun of a project like this. You can really make them your own. They're homemade, they're unique, they're your own flavor, your own seasoning. Since they're pretty thin, pretty small, they should cook up pretty quickly. They smell good, I can tell you that. I usually keep them moving, make sure they don't stick to each other, especially in the first few seconds. Make sure they're not browning too quickly. My oil's getting a little too low, so make sure to boost this up. But that's why a thermometer really helps. Monitor that temperature. If it's getting too hot, turn it down. If it's getting too low, add some heat. Frozen chicken nuggets will definitely lower the temperature of the oil, so you want to keep a close eye on it. If you're going through the effort to make your own homemade chicken nuggets, definitely put some thought into the sauces you're gonna use. I just picked up my favorite barbecue sauce and some of my favorite condiments, but you know, make your own fun sauce, make your own chicken nugget sauce. I made some mac and cheese earlier, so I think that'll be the side for my chicken nuggets. And I'm sure I have some veggies in there somewhere. These are big old chicken nuggets. What's bigger than a nugget? It's not quite a strip, not a popcorn chicken, it's a gold mine nugget. But that standard batter we made for these, you can use to batter just about anything. You could do onion rings. You could even use it to batter some fish, make some fish sticks, some fried fish. Having a universal batter in your back pocket is always a good thing. Of course, when in doubt, use a food thermometer. But for these, a good indicator when you're frying most things is when they start to float to the top, and especially the color when they get a golden brown color, you know that they're ready. These are just beginning to float. These are looking the correct color. Now that's a chicken nugget right there. That's so fun. I get a kick out of these things. I'm just gonna transfer these to a wire rack, let them cool off a little bit, all that excess oil drain off. Our battered chicken nugget, just like Mom used to drive through and order. Up next, our DIY Happy Meal box. I'll teach you how to trace the shape and fold it into your own origami McDonald's box. No, if only. This next batch, I'm just gonna batter and fry right away. I think the step to freeze these first isn't entirely crucial. I think this is easier. Coat, flip, get some of that excess off, right into the oil. This is kind of why I like to do this live and for real, is sometimes it's more helpful to see somebody do it in real time, troubleshoot, because that's what you're doing in the kitchen. Things aren't always flawless, right? Last batch, looking great too. Gonna get these out of here. Let them rest for just a minute, and then we can dig in. Let's taste one of these nuggets. I think I grabbed the hottest one. I meant to grab a cooler one. That is good. That sauce is good. I just need a vehicle to eat some honey mustard and I'm happy. Those are good. Now, since I seasoned them myself, usually the inside of that chicken nugget is just basically salt. You can see all the seasoning in there. You can taste all the flavor. The texture on the inside is gonna be just a little different when you go with the ground chicken. If you want a tighter, more snappier, more chicken nugget flavor, I would grind up a chicken breast or chicken thighs fresh. You'll get more of that consistency that you're familiar with a chicken nugget, but these are delicious. They taste like the real deal with some added flavor. I homemade them, so I know exactly what's in them. And play around with the shapes. I was wondering how I could do dino nuggets. I think it might be putting this on a sheet tray, freezing it slightly, and then cutting them out with a cookie cutter, and then I'll have the dino nugget shape. That's a work in progress. We'll do dino nuggets some other time. But let's crack it open. The outside's nice and crispy, full of flavor. Got my chicken mixture in the inside. That's all it takes to make a chicken nugget, and you can really do the steps in advance. Get your chicken mixture made, get them formed up, coated in the cornstarch, get them frozen. After they're solid, you can put them in a bag or a container, and then you have all your chicken pieces ready to either bread or fry. I'm tired of talking because I just want to eat these. They're so yummy. There's something about this barbecue with a chicken nugget tastes like I went to the drive-thru. Like a flood of memories came back. Just me and that Happy Meal toy in the back seat, not a care in the world. I'm definitely loving it.